the right environment for creativity and innovation. This is what will be the premises on today's presentation. Creating right environment. Why? For creativity and innovations in the thought process and probably in decision making and problem solving capability. So, right environment for creativity and innovation is what we will be. Yes, to strive and thrive. When you need creative ideas to be forwarded around it, everything to fight it out, everything to write it out, actually striving and thriving on creative premises as far as the environment are concerned, as far as the possible outcomes are concerned, as far as the ways to find out situational attractiveness. Downsizing tends to make us timid when we need to be bold. The creative employees are the one that will survive, eventually survives overall. So downsizing tends to make us timid when we need to be bold, and the creative employees are the one that needs to be survive. What this essentially means when the going gets tough, it's a tough that's going. It is when there is tumultuous positions in the environment, when there is a topsy-turvy going out in the organization. Remember, the person who will survive eventually will be the person who has thought out of box, who have actually come up with creative modalities to mitigate the problems thereby. So let us understand the creative process thereby. Remember, there are five methods of creative process, of which only three are individual centric and the rest two would be group wise. So we will be focusing on those three group, and that is what we look into at the work environment. And this is what the purview of this particular presentation is all about. It is all about creating the right environment for creativity and innovation is what we are talking about it. So yes, we are supposed to talk about the work environment. Yes, we are supposed to talk about the traits of the characteristic possessed by an individual employee, and thereby the first step creative process as to how we amalgamate it, install it, and execute innovations and creativity in organization. The next two are group oriented as far as brainstormings are concerned and divergent thinking are concerned. That is beyond the purview of this particular presentation. Definitely, yes, we'll talk about the work environment, traits, and the four creative process in this presentation. Let us proceed with the creative process. And anything is creativity. Now, what you have to do is find the method in the madness. Do not to find the method in the madness. You might be have to find be mad in the method altogether. Anything but orderly. Absolutely mad in the method. So you have to be random. You have to test and try new things. Have no respect for time at all. What are you talking around? If people might be saying or sensing this as they hear my presentation or this particular video, it is creativity. That is the borderlines of creativity, of normality and madness that comes around it. If you can find that method in the madness, to find that method in the madness, you have to go out of sync in terms of resources, in terms of time, in terms of orders, as the case might be. So, but ensure that your fixations of the goals are not moved around here, and that is what the creative process is all about. It let me talk about the work environment. Yes, let us begin with the work environment, the environment which actually purports creativity, but the environment which does not only purports but promotes creativity, that supports creativity, is the size of the team is critical. Remember, too large or too big a team is very difficult to manage, and it probably is unmanageable. As far as creativity is concerned, it will be almost anarchy out then and there. Think about where you come up with more creative ideas, a passion for what they are doing, a genuine respect for others' ideas, as the case might be. we are looking at the creative process. That is what the work environment is all about it. Now let us talk about the traits. The traits are the characteristics of an individual in the creative process. Remember, simply believing that you are creative is not enough. You should be curious. There should be an inquiry in your mind, always persistent as to why a particular reason is happening, why the timing is certain things, what is, we can figure it out. The curiosity, remember, the curiosity is all it takes to find out new horizons altogether, embark upon new possibilities altogether. It should be your curiosity which, when uh, computed with confidence, the ability in yourself, the trust in your beliefs, the courage and the constancy, you will simply come out with solutions which are either not thought of or problem not viewed in a different prism altogether. These are the traits of creative people. They are curious, they are confident, they are courageous, they are constancy, and they are not following the norms. They are ready to take a risk. They understand the creative process in itself. Yes, we come to the third and the final end of the presentation as far as topic is concerned. Remember, I said brainstorming and divergent thinking are beyond the purview. The topic remains creativity and innovation and the right environment to foster them. So we'll talk about the four steps one by one in the subsequent 5 or 6 slides before we wind up this presentation. Yes, the next 5 minutes is very important to understand the creative process. Remember, I am fabricating the process into four different parts. Let me start with the four steps. It's the preparation. Yes, you have a problem. Yes, you decide upon the significance of the problem. It is the preparation stage which tells you, lets the ball rolling. Then comes the incubation stage, in which you want to ferment your ideas as to how you will mitigate the problem or approach to the situation or solution. Then is inspiration. Yes, when you get inspired as to how you're not going to only thought about the process, but from where on you have actually got inspiration, the sources of inspiration as to what the probable solutions are all about it. Last but not the least word is test piloting it or test driving it or getting into simulation. This is what the stage number four is known as, verification about the probable solution that what you are working upon it is on the right path or not. That is the first step, creative process. Yes, it is preparation. Yes, it is incubation. Yes, it is inspiration and also verification. Let us go come to the first step, is all of gathering data, be it subject specific, and be it find out the sources of data as the case might be. Remember, data can come from a lot of sources, and as vibrant, as varied the sources is, it is better that you will get a holistic picture about the problem and the situation thereby. In the incubation stage, it's the alpha stage. You close your eyes, you slowly focus on your deep breath, focus on the single image of the problem, of the issues, of the situation that you are entangled upon. You need to think about it, boil your thoughts over the process, ferment your thoughts, come up with what all viable alternatives that comes around it. And this is nothing but incubation, as the case might be. Yes, after incubation, you are supposed to come up with some kind of sentiment, probable solution, risk, and so on and so forth. Remember, since this is a new affairs and things are not been absolutely verified, this is where you need to prepare to act, to follow your instinct, to go onto the path, not to waste any good idea, not to depend on any wrongdoings. Probably this is what we are actually going about it. Be prepared to act. Don't waste any ideas, any good ideas, as the case might be. We come to the very, very last step of the four-step creative process. It's all about verification. Ideas are common. No wonder, no nothing wrong with it. Remember, ideas can be very minuscule. It doesn't mix. It might not be very conducive. It might be almost like a joke. It might be almost unthinkable, unfathomable. But you remember, it merely takes just a small good idea, just a small good step, and you come up with a viable come to an end of this presentation. And probably I have established why the right environment and how do we go across it. Thank you for watching this video.